What we will do today in this short video is go over the whole process of the videos I did in Hebrew and follow exactly the same procedures. So now that you have also a little experience, I will go probably very fast. The first things I do, I connect to the server, you open the SSMS, and then you just get there. Just make sure you copy the exact connections to the server. So I do connect, and then it's connecting at the same time. I just go into the website, and in the website, just to remind you, let's do from scratch. Okay, courses. I click on the BI, and from the BI, it's supposed to open, and then I just go to the ETL process. Let's start with the first one. First one, to remind you, we created a table, okay, to which we copied the file from the PTO database to the PTO OTP underscore DW. So I click on those three SQLs. They are downloading, okay? And then I just go to the first one to create a table, which is create a table. So let's go to my folder, and here they are. I don't really need those two, I just need one. I downloaded one, two by mistake. The first one we deal with is create a table. So let's double click on it. And when the SSMS is open, it's going to open the SQL automatically into it, okay? Many things I assume you already know, but I'm going to cover it anyway, okay? So if I look at the databases, we have a lot of databases we created. I'm going to use this database I uploaded for you, which hold the basic data we're working on. Okay, in a second we'll see all the tables that there are. In fact, there are 4 basic tables we're going to use in this tutorial. Okay, what is this command that I have here? Here we go. We have 4 tables. We're going to use the first one for the first exercise, and then we move to the next exercise or the next video I will do on those 3. Let's focus on this one for now. Okay, what is this command does? When I run it, it turned the default database to be for whatever it is. Tells me the database does not exist. Okay, the reason it does not exist because I changed it to be PTO underscore DW underscore Amos. So I'm going to add here Amos, and now it will find it. So let's go. Here we go. The default database changes here to Amos, okay? This one I said you can really ignore it, just run it. So when you create the tables, you will put the right language, the right, whatever it needs there. I won't get into that. It's not a course on a DBA course, so I won't get into that one. Just run that and that will be fine. What's really we're interested in is how do I create this table? What is this command? This command basically creating a table by the name tasks underscore DW in the default database. The only thing, since I already have done it before, if I will run it, I should get an error. It will tell me the table already exists. I already showed in class a command called drop table. And here, I will just put the table name. What this one does, it literally just delete the table before I create it, just in case it's there. Okay, I know it's there because I already created it there. Okay, so many times if you have a table and you want to create the same table, you just run the drop table and then you click the create. So let me run the first command only. I mark the command, I click on the execute, and bingo. Or it's going to tell me that he dropped it, okay? And now I'm going to create a table. Which kind of a table I'm going to create? A table will have a column called type, column called location, department, and month, and then amount, okay? What I'm going to put in each one of them, which kind of a column it's going to be. The first column going to have 10 characters. And the N here, it's not for a number, it really is for international. That means I'm going to have 10 characters. Each characters can be in any language, okay? That's why we're adding the N. But I cannot really have more than 10. Okay, the same things for location. For department, I'm putting a small integer. Small integer, it's a whole number, and the small means it's up to about 32,000 numbers. Okay, so then month going to have also up to 10 characters, and amount I put decimal. Decimal here means I'm going to have total 10 digit and 2 after the decimal point. Okay, so I can have up to 8 digits before the decimal point and 2 after the decimal point. That's the kind of table I'm going to create. Okay, let me create it, then ask the question why I'm creating that structure. Okay, and that will be a good question. In fact, now the table exists there. Okay, this one should be now, this table should be in Amos. I will just open that one. I'll open tables. I should see a table. And that table should be really an empty table because I deleted whatever I had before. In fact, the original one was full, and I created a totally empty table. Let's look at it. How do we know that it's empty? Let's go and find it here. It's a table. That's exactly the one that we just created. If I do a right click, it will automatically create, okay, automatically will create the SQL I need in order to fetch data from a table. We'll see in the future, okay, more explanation on how this command works. For now, we just want to tell him, please give me the first 1,000 rows. There are less than 1,000 rows, so it will give me everything. And give me the information in all those columns. Those are exactly the columns of the table we just created. From where? From this table. Okay, so the form tells me which table, this one tells me which columns, and this tells me up to how many rows to get. Since it's run, I don't really have anything because I just created it. It's an empty table. Question is, why did I create a table like that? And the reason is, as we studied about a pivot table, a fact table, I would like to show you first how is the structure of the data I received. As I mentioned before, the PTO database, it's the raw data. And this is really the table I got. Let's see how it's structured. It's structured in, first I have a type, budget or forecast. Then I have the location. I have 3 locations, as I can spot here. Then I have also 3 departments, okay? Those are really good candidates for dimensions, as we learned when we talked about the multidimensional model, okay? Then I have, for every month, I have the data, okay? So if I look at the first row, I have in effect data for a budget, for the location Cleveland, for the department 101 for every month. But this is not the way we organize a fact table. In a fact table, 1, we don't have word, we don't have any column that has word, so that's one we'll have to change. We'll see it later on. How do we do that? And second, I would like, so the data for every month will be organized like in one column, okay? And that means I would like a table that will have a structure like this one, and in the month, so I will have type, location, department, month, and the amount, okay? After I do it, it will look, it will make more sense. Let me pull the second SQL to see to which structure I want to move it, and that will explain a little bit where I'm heading to. Okay, it just sounds like I'm not clear on that for now. Okay, so let's see. Let me go to here and let me pivot insert. It's the one that will turn it to a pivot, it will do unpivot, okay, to the table. Let me explain what we have here. In fact, let me just run first only the select just to show what I'm trying to do. I will run it. I'm not inserting any data. I'm just putting the select. This one, I'm putting it up from the database PTO from this database, from this table, okay? What I'm doing to this table that we saw before, the table, in fact, looks like we have time, location, department, and then all the months. What I would like to do, turn it to a table that will have a column of a month and the numbers. What do I mean by that? A table like this one. Here we go. A table like this one. Meaning, if you notice, let's look at the first row in the new table that I want to generate, okay? What do I have? I have budget, Cleveland, 1001, January, and that's the number. The second row, it's exactly the same, just the month of February and the number. The third is exactly the same, just the month of March. So if I would look at the numbers from here to December, it's like taking the row here, the first row, and turning it into 12 rows in this type of a structure. It looks like I'm repeating myself, wasting a lot of space, and why am I doing it? It's just to convert it later on into a fact table. And a fact table will have a dimension, will be called a month, according to the multidimensional model we have learned. Okay, so our objective first is to turn the data to look like that, and after I turn it into this kind of a structure, I would like to insert it into the new table we just created. But now make a mistake, we want to enter it to Amos, yeah, because we put the table into this database. When you do the exercise, of course, you change it to your team, your team and the number right after that. So it will be your database. Since I'm doing it on my database, I'm just changing it to Amos here. Okay, this one does the job of converting the data from this structure to this structure. And how does it work? Don't try to be an expert on the whole thing, just get the idea. And the idea is that I have two columns, amount and month. That's exactly the new two columns that I didn't have before. The first three are exactly the same. I can hear I have the same three columns. But instead of having those one as column by themselves, I'm going to turn them, okay, to one column. It will be called month. And it will put whatever is January, February, and all of them, will put them right here. And then it will add another column, which I did not have in the first table. And it will take all the numbers from January up to here, the first row, and it will make it as a column, and it will put it in the new column that I'm going to call an amount. If I want to, just for the fun of it, yeah, to just really take only the first three, okay, I could have just deleted it, okay, and now who can guess? I will just get only 3 months, okay. I'm taking from this table only the first 3 months. Why do I want to do that? There's no really reason to do that, but just for educational purposes. So if I will do a select, I will get just 3 months, January, February, March. So what is this one tells you is which columns you're going to pick from this structure and enter them into the column of amount. Okay, I will just return it because I really want all the months. Okay, so I will go back to what I had before. Beautiful. This one, creating the structure, and the insert command, making sure it will go into this table. So if I run the whole things here, okay, that should do the job. That will enter all the information, and in fact, now we have 192 rows. Let's see what's quick thinker. If you look at this table, how many rows do we have here? We have only 16. How did we get 192? It's 16 times 12. It should give you the number of these rows. Every row here turn into 12 rows in this structure, okay? Why did I add the first command? The first command, I really didn't need it originally because the table was empty, okay? And then the insert will go into this table. If I run this command by mistake or whatever reason, again, it will enter the same data again, and then I will have duplicates. I want to avoid it, and many times I do that for myself, to protect myself from myself. The truncate table just simply empty the table. So the first row empty the table called task DW. Okay, so if I run the whole things again, now I will run the whole. When I don't mark anything and I click execute, it will run the whole command. And now we will run all the commands first, meaning first it will empty the table and then it will insert the information and I won't get any error. Here we go. It ran, and now I have 192 rows into that table. That's really what I needed for the first video or mini part, let's say the first part of this video, okay? But I didn't really want to skip. I would like to show you one more query that knows how to take the information from this structure. By the way, if I run it now, I will get all the data. I have all the data. Now the table is full, yeah, and it has 192 tables. How do I take information in this structure and turn it into this structure? The command for that is a pivot, and that you have in the third SQL that I gave you, that I downloaded. So let's go back there, okay? Let's just go there and look for where's the pivot? I'll pivot, here we go. Double click, it will open up. You can really ignore the first part. The first part I was just exercising or playing with it. If you want, you can see what in fact, this is really just what I had in the other SQL. I don't really need this part. This is really what does the job, okay? A little tricky, okay? I won't dive too much into it, but when you run it, it will do the inverse. It doesn't like me. And of course, it won't like me because there is no such a database. I have to add the Amos. Okay, and run it again. That would be nice to me. And here we go. I got the same structure as before. This one is what is known as a pivot command. And very similar in a sense. I'm selecting everything's star mean, everything's form, whatever I have inside. If you look at here, in fact, I'm selecting everything's in this database, okay? After I'm selecting everything's from the table, I'm telling it, and I'm calling it as data. The pivot does, it's really turning it to new. It takes the column month and turn it to all those columns, okay? And which column it takes in order to populate the information in the new columns, like in this structure, it takes the column amount in this type of structure, in this type. It means, so I'm taking from here I'm taking the information, and from here I'm taking the information on which column I'm going to create. That's the logic of the pivot comment. A little confusing, the first. Then you ask yourself, why I have a sum? That's for more complicated type of turning a pivot, unpivot to pivot, and I won't get into that in this course. Okay, let's conclude the first part for this recording.